In React, effects and event handlers capture the variables that existed when they ran. This is called a closure. By the end of this walkthrough, you'll understand why a stale closure makes an interval log the wrong value and 2 clean ways to fix it. We start by declaring a function component called counter. Inside, we set up a piece of state called count that starts at 0. Next, we create a ref and initialize it with the current count. A short comment reminds us the first effect keeps the ref in sync. We open our first effect that will run whenever count changes. Inside it, we copy the latest count into the ref's current property. We close the effect and list count as its only dependency. A comment introduces the second effect, a logging interval that reads through the ref. We open a second effect and start an interval, saving its ID. Every second, the interval logs the count by reading the ref's current value. We return a cleanup function that clears the interval when the component unmounts. The empty dependency array means this effect runs only once, on mount. Finally, we return a button whose click handler increments the count. The button label shows how many times it has been clicked, and we close the component. Let's follow this component from the moment it first appears on screen. On mount, the interval effect runs once and sets up a timer that fires every second. That empty dependency array means this timer is created a single time and never rebuilt. The first tick fires and logs 0 because that's what the ref currently holds. Now imagine we click the button, which bumps the state to 1. That state change re-renders the component and runs the sync effect. The sync effect writes the new value into the ref, so the ref now holds 1. The next tick reads the ref again and this time logs 1, not 0. Click a few more times and the state climbs to 2, then 3. Each click triggers the sync effect again, pushing the latest count into the ref. And every tick keeps pace, logging 2, then 3, matching what the button shows. So the same interval that started life at 0 happily reports the current count on every tick. Let's talk about why this ref dance is even necessary in the first place. Imagine the naive version, where the interval directly reads the count variable instead of going through a ref. This effect runs only once, because its dependency array is empty, so its callback is created a single time on the first render. On that first render, count is 0, and the interval callback closes over that exact value. Even as you click and count climbs, the interval keeps reading the same 0 it captured, because it was never recreated. The obvious fix seems to be adding count to the dependency array, but that tears down and rebuilds the interval on every single click. The ref approach sidesteps both problems by giving the interval a stable box to read from. This separate effect keeps the box updated, writing the latest count into it whenever count changes. So the interval is created just once, yet through the ref, it always sees the freshest value. That's the pattern. Capture something mutable in a ref when a long-lived callback needs to read values that keep changing. An empty dependency array freezes the variables inside your effect. The captured count never updates, so it logs the stale value forever. Fix it by adding count to deps or reading the latest value via a ref. If that helped, subscribe for more React.